got the knowledge in store. Oh yeah, Alan Lang, watch him top of the flare. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film threats on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film threat, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan break the mold. Pop your corn, turn down the lights. Get ready to groove through movie nights. Film threat, we keep it real.
Welcome, everyone. Happy Wednesday from Pasadena, California, safe from Los Angeles. I am Chris Gore. This is Hollywood on the Rocks. Today on the show, make Marvel male again? Has Marvel emasculated its male superheroes? We will discuss it. Plus, Alan Ng joins me on the show to react. We've got a lot for you. And Superman tickets are on sale. People are getting excited. Let's go. Let's start the show. Where is that guy? What? Oh my God.
Hey, Chris. Hello again. Just want to say thank you for the very honest review of Ballerina. We had lots of fun making it. Now, let's find your partner. Alan.
Well, there he is. Alan is here.
By the way, Disney wanted to remind everybody that Fantastic Four tickets went on sale 2 weeks ago.
Did they really?
Yeah, didn't they?
2 weeks ago? Last week.
Was it last week? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just wanted to let people know that they're available.
Yeah.
So while you're getting your Superman tickets, remember, another one's coming out.
Yeah. And there's dude, so much to let's just get into it right here. Let's start. Here we go. Let's go.
Veronica Hernandez. Hey, you became a YouTube member.
Thank you, Veronica.
And Davina Duckworth. Happy Men's Mental Health Month. Yeah.
I could use it.
All right, Christopher Moonlight Productions. Time for another film threat for a drive home. Alan, which article do you think sounds better to Chris? Sexy Stories of 2025 or no such thing as unethical AI?
I'll do the AI story. I like that.
I think that's coming up next.
Yeah.
Maddie P. Happy hump day, dude and dudettes. I hope everyone is having a wonderful week thus far. And hail to Chris, Alan, and the rest of the fellowship.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. I am fresh from Gary's show. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of tired. I was at the Astra Awards last night, and I have some video that I'm going to share to the members only channel. Olivia Munn was in attendance.
Yeah,
he was there and received an award. He came in. Aaron Sorkin gave a great speech, gave her award, and she left immediately.
Oh,
but I got the whole speech on video, and I will share it with our members only.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go.
And then you ran backstage and had a little chat. And
no, I didn't.
Jean Hu gifted 5 film threat memberships.
Thank you, Sean Hu. So those new members, check out members only videos. And Lord Thoth.
Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Sign up as a member. Join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram. Buy our merch, shop.filmthreat.com. And we are on the road to 169,000.
That is where we're trying to get. I love the summer wear, but you know what? It's the drink wear and accessories I really love. This Camp Film Threat, I just got one of these, and I got the mug version right here.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I love it. It holds all hot and cold liquid. Camp Film Threat.
Hot and cold. Good.
Cold. It's multifunctional. So there you go. There you go. You gonna pick something up, Alan, or what?
I will once I can afford it.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. We have a lot of stories. Let's start with the first big story. Superman tickets are on sale. Yesterday, the advance early screening for Prime members, those tickets went on sale, mostly gone from what I can see for July 8th. July 10th, tickets are on sale now. And certain screenings, you will get a free comic book for the IMAX. Experience it on July 10th in IMAX. Get a comic book. Problem with that comic book, James Gunn is not on the cover of that one. So I don't know if it'll be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I will say, here's the one with James Gunn. Here you go. It's a limited edition. You can well, that one you have to go buy. You have to go buy that.
There's an actual. Okay. Yeah, very good for him.
You know what? Choose the comic book that you would like to see. But I have a lot of news stories here, Alan. You would not believe it. You would not believe it. In other Superman related news, guess what? There's a Krypto popcorn bucket. I know you've been waiting, Alan. I know you've been waiting. And I have a video that goes with that. Probably not going to play the audio for this because we're going to get hit, but I'll keep it low in the mix. But here it is. Krypto popcorn bucket to promote Superman. There it is with Krypto holding the bucket. And there is a dog bowl, a Superman dog bowl with Krypto on it for you, and a tin or collector tins for all the. If you don't need money, this is perfect for you.
Oh my God.
I kind of like that cup. The
Fortress of Solitude cup.
Fortress of Solitude cup. Does it light up?
I would hope so.
Not sure. What do you think, Alan? You gonna get that?
No, I kind of want the Krypto bucket to be Krypto and not a popcorn.
So what would you do? Eat popcorn out of Krypto's mouth?
Yes. Here, yeah.
Let's see.
Look.
Could
there you go. You get the popcorn, you just grab it.
What? Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
Do you get the turntable?
No. Hey, more Superman news. Superman lights the way for the DCU. That's the DC universe. There's notes for this story. I'm gonna restart this. This is like the cast. There's an ad here covering it up. I get rid of that. So this is the cast of Superman in a moving cover image. Are you seeing this, Alan?
Oh my God.
It looks kind of dumb. I'm not gonna lie. It's all of the cast and James Gunn pulling on a giant cape. I'm sure the Krypto's on the other side of that. Look, I'm right. There he is. And the story, Superman lights the way, how Hollywood's new Man of Steel shepherds the DC universe of tomorrow. Alan, tell us what's in this story.
Yes. James Gunn's vision for the new DC universe is coming into sharper focus, and at its center is Superman, a film that Gunn says is not only a major cornerstone, but also a tone setter for everything to come. While Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav recently named Superman, Supergirl, Batman, and Batwoman as vital to the DCU.
Did you say Batwoman?
No, I said Supergirl.
You didn't say Batwoman. Okay, I misheard.
Okay, Superman, Supergirl, Batman, and Wonder Woman as vital to the DCU.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Vital to their longevity. Gunn agrees. though with nuance. I wouldn't say only those four characters, but I would say those four characters are incredibly important to us. Gunn confirms that Superman and Supergirl are well underway, while Batman and Wonder Woman are still in development stages, with a Wonder Woman film being written and a Paradise Island series slow moving, but it's moving. Following Superman, the DCU continues with Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow in 2026, starring Millie Alcock. Gunn hints that while everything fits into his long-term gods and monsters plan, he's deliberately avoiding a continuity trap. Anybody can dip in and see the story that is up next and not feel they're missing information, yet a larger narrative is brewing. When asked about the Justice League, Gunn teases, of course, but there is no Justice League in this world. Not yet. As David Cornsweet, the new Superman, muses on the possibility of leading that team, he says, if Justice League is in the back of Gunn's mind, that sounds great to me. Gunn's reboot is as much about mythic rebirth as modern reinvention, declaring old-fashioned is something that's really beautiful and in its own way, the most rebellious thing about that character.
Well, while you're reading that, I'm distracted by the some of the cast they have. These women are pretty hot.
Yeah.
You've got some major cleavage here on the, I don't know what, there's Rachel Brosnahan. I don't know why she's covered.
No, that's not Rachel.
Other characters that there you go. That's Jimmy Olsen. Turn around. So yeah, what do you think? This is EW. They're talking to the cast. They're in full promo mode. I mean, I'm sure the movie is done at this point.
Yes.
Because how do you have time even to promote this movie if you're still working on the movie?
Yeah, I believe Gunn had posted a Instagram thing, whatever they call it nowadays, that the movie is complete.
Right, it's done.
It's done. It's done. I mean, look, he's saying the right things. He's commenting a lot of things we have been saying about what we fear that this is going to be. I don't know that he is directly addressing them, but it looks like he's alluding to the stuff. So, yeah, I mean, the edge right now is for Superman.
Well, I think the big takeaway from what you read from the story is this. He is aware that there's a burden to these big superhero stories. You have to have seen this and this happened. And it reminds me of times when I've grown tired of the comics, right? You have to know too many things that happened. You have to have too much lore and history to be able to dip in and dip out. I feel like all these movies, I feel like you should get more out of them if you know that, but you don't have to know every story, every TV show, everything that happened in this comic or that. I can get the crux of the story. If I want background, I can do my own research, read other comics, see other movies. I think that it's a subtle dig towards Marvel and how they burdened audiences with, you have to see the last thing to understand the new thing. What do you think? Is that a dig at Marvel?
I mean, it certainly has to be. I mean, look, the big example of how Marvel screwed up is the Marvels. The fact that, okay, so let's assume everybody saw Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, but Ms. Marvel, and then, whatever character we're going to call, what's her name? Black Girl Magic. I mean, there's a big assumption that A, you saw WandaVision, and B, you really love that character that came out of it. And then Ms. Marvel, the problem with her is completely undefined. Really, the reality is Ms. Marvel's superpower is her name, Ms. Marvel, because we don't really understand what it is, nor how it was really used in that movie.
Yeah, and I like the actress who plays Ms. Marvel. She's very likable. I didn't watch the entire series. It just did not grab me. I thought this is a really good show about a family that's for kids. It's not for me. So I dipped out, did not finish Ms. Marvel. I know you did. And you even
I didn't.
the
No,
family
it's funny. I
dynamic
didn't.
was good.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't finish it.
Oh, you didn't
you
either?
know,
Okay, I forgot.
Well, I mean, look, it was with that series. What I liked is what you liked. I like the family aspect of it. I like the personal day to day of the
that
Khan
works.
family. But then it got into all the oppression of Muslims across the world, and it's like, okay, here we go. Now we're getting political, and that was kind of, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, but I think that is a subtle. What Gunn said, I think it's very smart. These are fun movies and stories. Dip in if you like this story, you like these characters, dip out, but you don't need lots of knowledge to get everything out of it. And if you want more, you get more. So I like what he's saying. I feel like what he's doing, Gunn has been able to sit back and look at what's happened to Marvel. And though I've not liked the marketing for Superman all that much, actually, the marketing for Superman has been good whenever Gunn is not a part of it. When he makes it about himself, I think that's a turnoff to people. I really think the marketing on its own, what we've seen, and there was a new Superman trailer that dropped today. You can go check it out. I think it's the best trailer yet for the movie, but we're in wait and see mode at this point. But I think that statement, I'm impressed. I think he's learned the lessons Marvel refuses to learn. Let's go to comments and see what you have to say about all of this.
Yes. From Taku Udu for 4,000 NGN.
Wait,
oh my
try
God.
that again. Try that again.
I'm too old for this shit.
Try it again, Alan.
Tokukwu Udu for hold on, is this one of those Toku?
Tochukwu Udu.
No, it's got to be something. No, there's something obscene.
Udu.
There's something obscene they're trying to make me say here.
Okay, well, I don't know.
Okay,
right.
well, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
So Sue leads the Fantastic Four, and their planet gets destroyed in the end. Interesting.
Yeah. She's responsible. Oh my God.
Okay. D Goodhart, member for 14 months. Good afternoon, kids. I hit a member milestone. 14.
Thank you, D Goodhart. Check out the videos for members only.
Yes. Nick XH, member for 15 months. I ain't getting popcorn from Krypto's mouth.
I like the dog bowl. I think the dog bowl.
Yeah, the dog bowl is actually interesting. J Mart for 20 Canadian. Thanks, Chris, for the info about dick toes. Haven't heard anything back, but Chris does answer his emails.
Yeah, J Mart. I think a couple people that live in the Ottawa area in Canada reached out to me, and I sent them info on how to contact the production. There's a movie currently being made in Ottawa called Dick Toes. It's from the filmmaker behind Jesus Christ Vampire Slayer. It's an exploitation movie. It's about a detective who has 10 dicks for toes. It's being shot in Ottawa. And J Mart, I did answer your email, and I hope it works out. If it does, we'll when we talk about the movie, we'll show stills of your part in the film. I hope it works out. Alan?
Yes, you made the wise decision of emailing Chris.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. Laura Thoth, this is great marketing. I think it's cute.
You know what? Yeah, I think it's you know what? Good job on that one.
Wes Ray, I like Nicholas Hoult, but based on the final trailer, I don't think he has the gravitas to play Luthor. Comes across as a weak poser.
I have not been told that. Based on someone I know who saw the movie, he is an evil, scary Luthor, and he's chilling. That's what I'm told.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yeah. But at the same time, every role Nicholas Hoult has had up until this point, he's never been the menacing type.
Yeah.
Red Pill Rants, new superhero, major cleavage.
I would like major cleavage.
Yeah. Pilgrim Media for 2. Will Superman be dog water? Get it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, from DC to Marvel, there is a new Ironheart trailer. We will take a look, Alan. We saw the first Ironheart trailer, and let's be honest, it was not great. It was not great. It was, of course, filled with you have a black character and you have to pay, which means you have to play rap, right? It's sort of cliche.
Rap or hip hop, yeah.
Rap, hip hop, whatever. This is a new trailer.
Oh, look at that logo.
Look at the logo. It's different. So let's take a look. It's just over a minute, and we'll react to it on the other side. Here we go. I'm going to turn up the audio here. Here we go.
My stepdad used to say the best way to know a thing is to take it apart, put it back together. Then you can see what it's really made of.
You should take your dad's advice. Break yourself down. See what you're made of.
Here goes nothing. If I'm gonna protect people, I gotta start thinking outside the box.
Out of all the things you could have built, with that big brain of yours, why this?
Because I have to.
Might be a hero in there after all.
Riri, time to wake up.
Look,
What are you?
your greatest creation yet.
Who the hell else would it be, bitch?
Bish or bitch? Bish? What the hell? It's a better trailer, but
Yeah.
not by much. I think.
I mean, the dead thing helps.
Stepdad, by the way,
Oh,
stepdad.
dead stepdad thing helps.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see, and in fact, we will see. You and I just received all 6 episodes available for viewing soon.
Yeah. Oh, we
The
can watch it
day-
now. Oh no, hold on.
Yeah. The day the show drops, we will review all episodes. Now, when the show drops on the 24th of June, 3 episodes will drop of the 6 episode series. So this will only, run for a month.
Right. All right. So we
3
can start.
episodes.
We'll have seen it. We have access to it on Monday, this coming Monday.
Yeah. So we will have when the show drops, Alan and I will have seen it all. I'm not sure if people will care, but we will review all episodes that day live. We'll go through every single one. And then we'll talk about it week to week if you're interested. But Alan, what did you think of that trailer?
I don't feel like I'm the target demo.
Right.
And which begs the bigger question: what is the target demo? I mean, clearly it's young black girls. Is that big enough? Will Marvel make its money back? Really driving in that demo there, or how are they broadening it, or are they staying specific to that demo? And if history serves, if history is right, they're just going over that little demo.
Yeah, well, there's more to that, but I do think I'm going to show something that relates to what you just saw, and tell me what you think of this. This is a promo for Superman. I'm going to refresh it. It's from James Gunn's Instagram, And do you see it there?
Yes.
Let me just refresh this here. Listen. A young black girl playing with a Superman action figure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna mute it a little bit because we don't want to get hit. I'll turn on the sound every once in a while. But it's a young black girl. It looks like she's going around the house, doing super heroic things, helping carry paper towel, clean up the leaves, helps in the yard, take out the garbage. She's taking out the garbage, just doing little heroic wars around there. She's something in the skies at Superman in a theater now with your Superman doll.
Prime members, see Superman early.
It says it ends with anyone can be super. It's a young black girl playing with a Superman action figure, excited about Superman, ending with the phrase anyone can be super. Now,
what's interesting is
who is that for?
Hold on. What's interesting is this little girl sees herself in Superman.
Right. That's my point. So, there you go. I'll just rerun. The whole point is, you don't have to be exactly who a hero is to identify with, when you identify with a hero, you're identifying with aspects of their heroism, tell
their
the
values.
truth, the values. That's exactly right. You identify and you embody the values, not the physical personage of the character. So
you don't have to look like that character in order to be that character.
Correct. So, and by the way, the tying a towel around your neck to be a superhero, I did that when I was a kid. I used to play superheroes, actually Batman and Robin, with friends. We would tie towels around and we would play superhero. So that's all I'm saying is that's a cute promo for Superman, and it's a girl that sees her parts of herself in Superman rather than the identity politics that Disney tends to play, where you've got to look like the character to identify. Isn't that right, Bish?
Yeah, Bish. She wants to. I just had the right phrasing in my head.
To be like a good like be a hero. I'm gonna help my family with chores around the house.
Yeah, being heroic.
He's not trying to be iconic and tossing money around. I don't know that first Ironheart trailer was. The second one is better, I think, but I still think, from what I'm told from inside Marvel, it's the worst thing Marvel has ever produced. That's what I'm.
And they've seen Echo.
Yes. Yeah. Although I didn't see the whole thing.
Yeah. The thing is Superman is someone you aspire to be. And for a young black girl like that, those are easy qualities to want to aspire to be, to be heroic, to help people. You look at the Ironheart, it just feels like a series of flashing images that look cool, and that maybe I want to look and do those things too. But we don't know her values. It's fairly muddled. I guess you can go with the baseline saying, she wants to do good and be a nice person, but I'm not sure you really get all that from the trailer we just saw.
All right.
And Superman's been around a lot longer. Let's also be honest about that.
We shall see, and we will review all episodes when the day it drops.
Yeah, Monday.
Super chat. No, not on Monday. We'll see it Monday.
Yeah, we'll see it Monday and talk about it next week.
The following week, the 24th. Okay. Let's go with chat comments here.
Gorilla Biscuits gifted 1 Film Threat membership.
Thank you so much.
Jay for 5. Sorry, this isn't about superheroes, but are you guys still planning on giving us Acolyte Season 2?
Look, like Avengers Doomsday, Acolyte season 2 has been delayed, but it is going to be in production. I have right here the cast of Acolyte season 2, and we will be producing that show for Film Threat Plus.
Yeah, we are working on it. Look how worn out the edges on that box.
Yeah, it's look at the distressed.
I know.
Yeah.
One day you'll take the characters out.
One day it's been pushed back like Avengers Doomsday, but it's coming. It's coming. So thank you for the inquiry there.
All right. Will Young for 2. Woo. Solo really ruined the Alden Ehrenreich career.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. He's a very good actor. He was in Oppenheimer. He's a very good actor, but maybe he just can't be a lead.
You know what it is? I want to see the Lord Miller cut of Solo.
Now I really want to.
Yeah. Pyrene Dream. Disney has no concept of yin yang. All they do is yin 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 yang, and leave no doubt as to why they are failing and losing its audience. They have no balance, no metric for equality. Interesting. Mr. D-Man 21. I want to hear Chris say, "Bish, please."
I will not say "Bish, please."
Davina Duckworth. The pandering is strong with this one. Puppy ring. Mr. D-Man 21. Discount Terrence Howard as the Hood.
Yeah.
Gunho Mac. A black kid without a dad who steals tech. Sounds right.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of got away from that, which I think was smart. So there you go. Speaking of Avengers Doomsday, Chris Evans is on the promotional tour for the film Materialists, which we will review on Friday. The movie's coming out.
I saw it last night.
Good. I'm going to see it Thursday. Yeah. We'll talk about it this week.
I'll just say there exists a good Pedro Pascal movie in this world.
Yeah, well, we shall see about that. But here's, I mean, I'm just assuming Chris Evans is in Avengers Doomsday. Can we all assume that? But he's asked about it here. This is from Screen Rant. So let's see what he has to say here in this short clip. Here we go.
The over-under on how many times you've been asked about Steve Rogers today.
You know what? It hasn't really happened. You might be the first.
You are?
Okay. Well, you're so sweet.
I like her.
Chris, I know you're not going to confirm or deny anything with Avengers related, but I will ask. Obviously, Downey's coming back. The Russos are coming back. As friends, outside of as colleagues, have you talked to them since they signed the dotted line?
Yeah, I talk to them all the time. It's where Pedro is right now. I mean, it's sad to be away. It's sad to not be back with the band, but I'm sure they're doing something incredible, and I'm sure it's going to be that much harder when it comes out, and you feel like you weren't invited to the party.
The over.
Yeah, I'll say this. Okay. Is he being honest? There's two things in my mind. One, is he being honest? Which it would not be the first time someone lied in a junket to, cover up a potential spoiler. And it would be fine if he was, he was being coy. I don't think he's being coy. I think he's telling the truth. Doesn't mean he's not in it, but could they be saving Chris Evans for Secret Wars? What do you think, Alan?
Maybe. It's like at this point, I don't care. I
mean, the cast for Doomsday is so huge.
Yeah, but the thing is there was sort of a brilliance between Infinity War and Endgame, because Endgame was essentially the OG Avengers. It was their last, it was their final swan song. And that's what makes, to me, that's why I liked Endgame so much, because it was the characters that started it all, and now they're finishing it. You just don't get any of that sense going into the story of Secret Wars. And so Secret Wars is just another story, as opposed to the final film of the Avengers. The other thing is, I thought it was awesome to see in that video 2 members of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes, that's true. But I mean, I think they're saving him. because a RDJ Iron Man or some variant matched up with a Steve Rogers. I mean, that's huge. Yeah. Why not save that for Secret Wars?
Yeah. I mean, they already killed off Johnny Storm. So all he has left is Steve Rogers now. But I feel like if he is even coming back, I believe it will be as a quick cameo. Much like Johnny Storm.
You know, we saw the chairs for Avengers. How about this? This is the height of Marvel actors. Let's compare ourselves. We have Peter Dinklage at 4'5", Julia Louis-Dreyfus at 5'3", shortest among the shortest. Natalie Portman is 5'3", Scarlett Johansson 5'3", Tatiana Maslany 5'4", She-Hulk, right? Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie 5'4". I mean, this is as exciting as the chairs.
Yeah.
Right? Wait, Jacob Batalon as Ned. I like Ned. In the Spider-Man movies. The Man in the Chair, 5'4". Florence Pugh, no surprise, as Yelena, 5'4". Kat Dennings, 5'5". Now that's height, not width. You know where I'm going with that. She's ample assets. Lupita Nyong'o Nakia is 5'5". Letitia Wright, 5'5". But the women they're short. Evangeline Lilly as Wasp is also 5'5". Aman Vellani as Ms. Marvel, 5'6".
Wow.
Would you have guessed that, Alan?
Well, she probably had a growth spurt during Ms. Marvel.
Yeah. Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop, clocking in at 5'6". Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch, also 5'6". Other than Peter Dinklage, no men than him at the very beginning. Zoe Saldana as Gamora is 5'6.5". We're doing half inches. Okay. Haley Atwell, Peggy Carter, 5'6.5".
And that's vertically too.
Get out of here. Tom Holland, 5'7". He's among the first shorter man, in stature. Palm Clementif, 5'7", plays Mantis. Brie Larson, 5'7". Florence Kasumba as Io, 5'8". Would you have guessed that?
No, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Kate Blanchett as Hela, 5'8". How many are we going to see here?
Now we're playing into the men.
Don Cheadle is also 5'8". Ben Kingsley, 5'8", the Mandarin. Are we doing every Marvel actor? How about just the main ones? Mark Ruffalo.
Still taller than everyone so far. So.
Oh my God, I'm taller. I'm 5'10". So Mark Ruffalo is 5'8". 5'8", Robert Downey Jr. Oscar Isaac, 5'8.5". Same thing with Jeremy Renner, also 5'8.5". Wouldn't have guessed that. Gwyneth Paltrow is 5'9".
Wow.
In flats. There you go. Eldon Henson, who plays Foggy Nelson in Daredevil.
Not really a superhero, but yeah.
Well, a cast member on Marvel, 5'9". Clark Gregg as Phil Coulson, dead character. No one dies in science fiction or fantasy or Marvel. He's 5'9". Anthony Hopkins, 5'9". Daniel Bruhl as Helmut Baron Zemo, 5'9.5". Michael Rooker, Yondu, 5'10". I'm 5'10". I'm as tall as Captain America, Anthony Mackie, 5'10". Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, also 5'10". That's tall for Ant-Man. Charlie Cox, 5'10", also Daredevil. Do we care about any of this? Alan,
I'm still taller than all these people.
Yeah.
Of course, the Asian is.
Benedict Wong, 5'10". Sylvester Stallone, 5'10". James Marsden, Cyclops, is also 5'10". We gonna watch this whole thing?
We finally got
We're
to
not
the
even
X-Men.
halfway through.
The X-Men are taller than the Avengers.
Look at this. We're not. Let's see who's the tallest. I'm going right to the end.
All right.
The tallest is Tyler Mane as Sabretooth is tallest at
I want to see who I'm
6'9".
taller than, or who's my height.
Okay, wait,
Go
you're
back,
6
go back.
foot.
6'1". I'm
Go
6'1".
back. 6'1". You have Chris Evans, Captain
Okay.
America, is 6 foot. Bradley Cooper, 6'1". Rocket Raccoon. John Favreau, 6'1".
I didn't realize he was that tall.
There you go. Harrison Ford is also 6'1".
Wow.
The
Let me
Red
think of
Hulk.
something.
There you go. Wyatt Russell, 6'1", U.S. agent.
Very nice.
So there you go. You're as tall as all these guys. Ryan Reynolds, 6'2".
He's tall. There we go.
He's taller. There you go. All right. If you want to watch this video, we'll put a link in the chat. Look up how tall are the MCU actors ranked by height, tallest to shortest.
Let's see. Elizabeth Debicki is 6'3". Would she be the tallest woman then?
Well, let's go to that. Let's go to 6'3". Those who are 6'3". I'm getting there.
Here we go. They're 6'3".
Yeah. Well, David Harbour, Chris Hemsworth, 6'3". Idris Elba, 6'3". So there you go. There you go. Might be a lack of news today. Galactus Ralph Innes is 6'3", along with Stellan Skarsgård, who plays Dr. Eric Selvig. Also, he plays Baron Harkonnen. Vincent D'Onofrio. All right. Well, not that interesting. Not that interesting. But there you go, Alan. All right. Let's go to your soups here, and I'll be right back, Alan.
Okay, Rudy, remember for 7 months. What I got from that trailer is she needs to prove to everyone that she's already smart and perfect. No arc needed. Yes. That I don't know why that is such a character development arc for people nowadays, but it is. HR Star 24 for 5. Do you think Superman is targeted more for families/kids? Gunn trying to make Superman be the coolest character. Have a lot of kids want to be him. I would 100% tell you that Superman is being targeted for families and kids versus the Suicide Squad, which is not for some reason. Marvel Elite 500 for 5. Even though I am a longtime comic book fan, I won't be watching anything from DC or Marvel this year. I look forward to your reviews. Yes. D Goodhart. Doomsday is going to be the mad world of superheroes. I don't think it'll make out even at the end of 26. Yeah, I think the issue with Doomsday is the fact that we don't know what it's going to be about. Maybe it's about the multiverse, but how are they going to fix it? Are they going to fix it? Does it need fixing? Why? You had an idea of what Infinity War and Endgame were. It's the final battle against Thanos. What is Doomsday? What is Secret Wars about? Who knows? And that's why no one is excited about those two movies.
Yeah. Did you get all of them?
Yeah, we got all the soups.
Get all the regular comments here?
Not all the regular ones, because Sam says if he comes back, even evil Captain America, hail Hydra.
I can see that happening.
Caventeno, Cavalryman Che. Curious if Dakota Johnson felt some envy because of Madam Web not being in the MCU.
I don't think she cares. I get the sense she doesn't care. And I like her.
Yeah.
She has a sense of humor.
Edwin, they probably will have Chris Evans as a version of Captain America wearing the feather fish scale outfit with the simple looking shield from the comics. Yes.
That'd be great.
I would love
That'd be great. All right. In other news, Disney Universal file first major studio lawsuit against an AI company. This was bound to happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's from Variety. So they're suing Midjourney for copyright infringement. This is theft by Todd Spangler in Variety. Alan, if you would read the story.
Yes. So Disney and Disney and NBC Universal have filed a federal lawsuit against Midjourney, accusing it of rampant copyright infringement. Rampant. The entertainment giant claim Midjourney's image generation service has been producing and distributing unauthorized images based on iconic characters from their films and television franchises, including Marvel's Deadpool, Wolverine, and Universal's Minions. Filed in California Central District Court, this lawsuit alleges that Midjourney ignored cease and desist requests and continued developing its image tool to create even higher quality versions of infringing content. In strongly worded statements, Disney and NBCU executives framed the lawsuit as a defense not only of their own intellectual property, but also the broader creative industry that depends on copyright protections. In the suit, the plaintiffs paint Midjourney as a copyright-free writer, exploiting copyrighted content without investing in its creation. They warn that AI-driven piracy could destabilize the foundation of U.S. copyright law and threaten the livelihood of millions working in entertainment. Despite being a small, self-funded team led by former NASA researcher David Holes, Midjourney has already become profitable and widely influential in the generative AI space. Disney and NBC Universal are seeking monetary damages, as well as a court order to stop Midjourney from continuing to distribute any infringing material. While these media companies express optimism about AI's potential, they stress that technological innovation must not be the cost of creative ownership.
Here's the deal. AI, in some forms, simply put, AI can be a randomizer. When you go to, say, create a character in a game, there are so many things you can do in terms of choices of designing a character, right? So you can change the nose, hairstyle, eyebrows, color of the hair, eyes, whatever. But I'm a person that's very impatient. I don't want to spend hours designing a character. I press randomize a couple times. Hey, I like that. Boom, I'm done. What they're talking about here is what's included in the source library is owned. You can't use a library of other images to randomize for your AI, right? Your AI art. And that's what they're saying. So there are a lot of discussions happening about AI. It could be a force for good for new creators. It's going to kill jobs. These discussions need to be had. So it'll be interesting to see the arguments made on both sides. Alan, what do you think?
Yeah, I find myself in the middle of this in terms of I see both points. My biggest issue is I could care less what Midjourney does with Mickey Mouse, Superman, Deadpool, Wolverine. But if you're a small-time creator who created a character and then it gets caught up in Midjourney, now I feel sympathy for this small creator who probably has never made money off of their creator. I think if you, like you say, if you use Midjourney as a randomizer just to create something, that's fine. But yeah, I get it, and I understand if you said, yeah, give me Deadpool doing this, or give me Superman licking a puppy. I get why the lawsuit is there, and I think the best course of action is to actually let the lawsuit play out and get some.
No, I agree. I just want to see what the arguments are, because what this will explore is it's having a conversation about what this is. People don't understand, and I think if you pay for Midjourney, which creates you license the original assets from the artists and or company, that could be this. Yeah. This could set precedent to how AI can be used legally, ethically, and the original creators get paid. That's what this could set the precedent for.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like if Disney said, okay, you can get Midjourney and then add on the Disney pack.
Here's you add on these different packs of things to draw from, but you're paying. It's what they call, I hate this when I see this, in-app purchases, right?
Yeah.
It's an in-app. I want to be able to redesign Marvel stuff. So you pay for the Marvel license, you do that, or the Disney or Pixar or whatever it is, and then you can create new art. But you paid for the license to do that, and you can't monetize what you create, right? You can't own it. So there are a lot of arguments. This will play out in the courts, but AI is not going away.
I mean, that's an interesting idea because, I mean, can you imagine your Midjourney and then you sign a deal with Disney saying, okay, you subscribe to Midjourney and buy the Disney pack. So you get Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel with it.
Right. Or whatever.
Yeah. And that benefits not only, well, the big corporation, but also benefits Midjourney at that point.
I just think it's about where they're drawing, what the data set is they're drawing from to create the final result.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, ultimately that is a conversation that has to be had, is where did you get your data set? Where did you pull it from? Did you go out, sweep the whole internet, and now you're basing it off of other people's work that you shouldn't have?
Let me actually show a short video that relates to this about AI. It just gonna present without comment here. Let me present this, and we'll watch this together and talk about it. Here we go. Let me make sure audio is set. Okay, here we go.
Behind closed doors, execs have seen AI content so lifelike, they're now considering using it to extend old sitcoms. Not reboots, not remakes. We're talking new official episodes made entirely by machines. One exec told me that the next generative AI is so lifelike, studio executives were, quote, scared of how they could no longer tell the difference between reality and an artificial creation. One company, Fable Studios, just launched Showrunner, an AI platform that lets users create entire TV episodes from a single sentence. Voice animation, dialogue, all auto-generated. That's all according to a report in VentureBeat. And with Hollywood under pressure to cut costs, some studios are now exploring whether to license old IP to AI firms to generate spin-offs, especially outsourcing nostalgia. But there's a legal gray area. The U.S. Copyright Office made it clear in February that AI-generated work isn't protected unless a human makes meaningful creative contributions. But as the tech gets better, the question isn't whether AI can bring back your favorite shows. It's whether you'll still recognize and watch them if you can't tell the difference.
My first question is, like, what does that mean? What is the benchmark for meaningful creation?
Well, I can tell you right now that on YouTube, it's a very gray area, and Warner Brothers has made me angry.
No, see, like, they're like, we're going to get AI to redo these, and they're going to bring back the Andy Griffith show, and it's going to be that wolf in there. Like, Daddy. You're like, Barney!
Yeah, so Alan, what do you think of this? You want to see do you want to see new episodes of The Office?
No.
What do you think? I mean, no, they're talking about the possibility. This is huge. We're on the tip of the iceberg with all of this. We just talked about this in Justine Bateman video, her discussing how the streamers will use AI. And it's to create customized shows, or like you could watch Star Wars starring Alan Ng as Chun Solo. Well, Han Solo, Chun Solo, I don't know. But you know what I mean? Like, you put yourself in shows, you can make new episodes of Gilligan's Island, as they said, if the studio owns it and they allow you to do that, or they themselves make new episodes. Where does that lead? Like the actors, writers, the owner. I'm saying the genie's out of the bottle. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. There are a lot of questions unanswered, but the possibilities.
Yeah,
it's also Hollywood's bottom line is money.
Right. Look, AI can make content, AI generated content for Hollywood.
Right.
The question is, do people want that? You know, you ask the question, do you want to see more episodes of Gilligan's Island? The answer is no, but on the other hand, the studio's going to make it anyways. So screw you. That's kind of where I see things right now, is that the studios want to use AI so badly, and people like us don't want to watch their AI stuff at all. I mean, people are going to rush out and see an AI, AI episodes of Gilligan's Island, AI episodes of MASH, of The West Wing.
What if Gilligan finally got
Marianne
and Ginger? What if that was the episode?
Okay, you're right. I want to see that. All right, AI.
Get going.
Get going. There you go.
Let's go to comments here.
Lord comment for 2. Hey, Chris Gore, or hi, Chris Gore. Good to catch the stream with you and Alan. Hey, Lord
appreciate it. Lord comment, appreciate you.
Desinia for 5, Australian. When use AI for their title sequence script writing, did it only take from Disney IP?
That I don't know. But it's going to be, this is a question.
Brujo, $10 Australian. Interesting on the height. Shirahaz, the Black Widow Iris from Brave New World, is 5'2". They must have really forced the perspective compared to ScarJo, etc.
Right. Hey, Adrian Curry. Good to see you.
Yes. Adrian says, AI is going to replace all of humanity within 5 years.
Well, creativity.
But
thanks, Adrian.
But I just don't see people wanting it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Lord comment for 2. So we are going to live in the Matrix after all. We're getting there.
Yes. Funny, somebody commented like, this is why in Star Trek, entertainment sort of ended in a certain era in the Star Trek universe. Like art creation kind of ended in Star Trek universe. And they're saying this is kind of what we're seeing. The end of entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Alert comment for 5. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should, Chris Gore, or computer graphics. This is all about the cash. Bottom line, bro.
Look, I agree with you, but ultimately it's not up to me. It's the studios and the audience.
Well, studios. Darth Maul's lower half member for 2 months. I want to see AI movies made from Star Wars EU books.
Well, I would just like to see a good Star Wars movie that was a sequel. I think that would be amazing.
But the thing is, at least if you did it based on books that were already written, maybe you'd come closer to the heart of what that is, as opposed to just having AI not only generate the show, but generate the script behind it. Tony Rios, Alan.
Yeah,
we hate everything. Yeah, we hate everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks,
That's
Tony.
a winning video clip right there. Winsome X. Artists have had undue protection. It was always intended to encourage creation, and it hasn't done that for 100 years. Copyright is just abusive today. Yeah. I think the ownership of copyrights that's been abused. I like the principle behind it. Wall 240, 10 Australian. I can't wait for AI. Imagine being able to make a full AI feature film with just a few sentences. It will explode creativity. It will probably hurt Hollywood's monopoly too.
I like the idea of independents having more access to like studio level effects.
Yeah.
But how it's used, we'll see.
Yeah. Torgo the White. I hope the AI companies win. Screw these zombie conglomerates, soppy writers, everything under the sun. It isn't like Disney has actually been fairly compensating their creators.
Yeah. Are the Brothers Grimm getting money right now?
Well, is Jack Kirby getting money right now?
Well, yeah, Jack Kirby or his family.
Yeah. Hill, Connecticut, or Hill CT, Hillicit. The argument can be made that training an AI model on the works of others is no different than an artist being inspired while they paint in galleries of other artworks.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's a very nuanced point you brought up, worth discussing. You could do a panel on that of artists, talk about that topic right there for an hour or a lot longer. So
Okay.
these are the discussion. I think we need to have conversation.
Yeah. So LA Comic-Con, that will be our workshop time. Yeah. Jimmy Francis for 20 Swedish krona. Will AI be able to have top acting? I doubt it.
Yeah, true.
Null White for 5. Gilligan's Island, but Ginger and Marianne in bikinis the whole time. Yes. Yes.
Now we're talking.
In fact, why not just take the old episodes and just replace Marianne and Ginger with bikini Marianne and Ginger?
Why not?
Yeah. Targo the White for 2. Bring me the all Charles Bronson cut of Star Wars.
Coming soon.
Lord Khan for 2. In my opinion, AI is designed to remove the human element.
Yeah.
The Destroyer to all trolls. Superman licking a puppy. That's the other way around. Alan Horkin. Hollywood is standing on the shoulders of midgets. Claims of originality are overstated. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Bill is President Esquire. Disney became a giant by relying on public domain stories, then had Congress extend copyright repeatedly to a century. They don't care about innovation.
Well, that's why everything is Disney's Snow White.
Yeah.
Notice how everything is Disney's this.
Mm-hmm. Phalanx 68 for 10. Was just reading the other day how the professor from Gilligan's Island flew over 44 combat missions in World War II, was shot down and broke both ankles. Took 12 years for him to be rescued.
12 hours.
Yes.
Close enough.
Yeah. Sometimes if you spell those out, I can read those correctly.
It's all good, man. Hey, it's time
Because you're
for
literally only adding one letter to it. Okay.
It's time for our main topic. Sue Storm is the leader in Fantastic Four First Steps. We have gotten reports from test screenings. We've heard about this actually for years, that the superpowered team, the Fantastic Four, which I think the default leader is Reed. He is the smartest man in the universe. And while each of them have their moments, Johnny Storm, Ben Grimm, the Thing, Sue Storm, Invisible Woman, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, each have their moment to shine. Reed has always been acknowledged to be the leader until this version, the Marvel Studios version of Fantastic Four First Steps. Here is the story from Comic Book Movie. Alan, please read that to me.
Yes, the Fantastic Four First Steps is setting a bold new tone for Marvel's first family by placing Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, at the center of the narrative. Traditionally portrayed as the supporting figure or even sidelined in past film adaptations, Sue is now being reimagined as a complex, powerful lead. Producer Grant Curtis noted, if you do go back through the comics, you realize that Sue Storm is arguably the leader of the Fantastic Four, because without Sue Storm, everything falls apart. Actress Vanessa Kirby echoes that sentiment, aiming to portray Sue with genuine feminine soulfulness rather than turning her into a stereotypical boss bitch. Her character arc is deeply personal as well. Sue is set to be pregnant with Franklin Richards during the film, further emphasizing her emotional and narrative centrality. Kirby and co-star Pedro Pascal have embraced a collaborative, character-driven approach, with Kirby praising Pascal for being utterly equal and supportive. Supportive as a partner. Pascal returned the admiration, saying, powerful women have been the thing that has gotten me through being alive, and describing her dynamic as a kind of transcendent sort of partnership. The story, set in 1960s inspired retro futuristic world, follows Fantastic Four as they balance family and heroism while confronting the cosmic threat of Galactus and the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is any surprise. I think the reason this is, even though we've heard reports that, Marvel's, hey, we're backing off. This whole MCU thing, it's not real. I just think the problem is it's the these big corporations. It's kind of the deep state version. Certain things can't just get out of government. And I think in a corporation, there's certain concepts and ideas because Disney is a girl brand. Let's be fair. Disney is a girl brand with a lot of things that appeal to men, stories that also appeal to men, but you can't take it out. It's embedded, it's ingrained in the very culture of Disney and yes, Marvel. I don't think they could make a strong male-led movie now. We've seen it. They seem incapable. And look, no one would doubt that like Sue Storm is absolutely powerful and a big part and a strong character in the way that Ripley is strong in the Alien films, right? But they're equal, not in a way that diminishes the male character's contributions. I'm just, the more I see of Fantastic Four, the less excited I am based on what I've seen. Alan, what do you think?
So this is one thing that I've learned in my life growing up here in America. This idea of equality. The reality is no one wants equality. Everyone wants power. And when you don't have power, you call it equality. You say we need equality until they get power. So for decades, the tradition was men were the leaders, women were the followers. No, we want equality. We can lead just like men. And so rather than making men equal to women or women equal to men, we have to flip it. It's now women are the leaders, men are the followers. And don't misinterpret what I'm saying, but that's exactly what they're trying to do. That's what Marvel's been doing since Endgame, is placing women at the forefront, as opposed when they were begging for equality. They weren't begging for equality; they were begging for their chance to take over. And you can liken that to the culture wars in general. I don't want to get political here, but it's not just men and women. It's in race. It's in sexual orientation. It's in everything. Everyone wants power, and it's always under the guise of equality. That's my biggest issue with all of this. Sure, there have been women in the world who have exuded leadership, and people followed them. And Margaret Thatcher is one where she was a leader, and people hated her because she was a leader, and she didn't follow their politics. I'm always of the opinion that art should reflect culture, and art shouldn't be there to change culture. And that's what I feel like Marvel and Hollywood has been doing, is they've been trying to use their art, so to speak, to change culture in a way that people just don't find interesting or natural.
Well, I think the only equality we'll get will be in the popcorn buckets. Have you seen the buckets now?
Yes.
There's a collector tin for every character. The Silver Surfer gets a collector tin. Galactus.
You get a collector tin. You get a collector tin.
All the characters get their own collector tin popcorn bucket.
I mean, does Johnny get two? One on fire and one not? Am I not seeing that right?
Normally. So here's my Fantastic Four right there. We'll never get to see that. That's Ben Grimm wearing shorts. Let's get that. Let's show off that rock body. Yeah. That rockin' body, Ben.
Those large pebble nipples of his.
Look, are we surprised at all by any of this? Are we surprised?
No. I mean, we saw it start years ago. We saw it all after Captain Marvel came out.
We saw it in the beginning in Endgame. There was that pandering shot.
Yeah.
With all, and it got it. The girl power shot. It did get some cheers in audiences. I didn't cheer, but I was kind of groaning because it's obvious they're pandering.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's so weird because I don't think there's this only goes one way, right? So they create a character, Superman. Well, then you have to create Supergirl.
Yeah.
or the super family, right? Then you've got
Or Hulk.
Batman.
Yeah.
Well, then you got to get Batgirl, Batwoman, and the Batman family. Nowhere have they had a female character like Wonder Woman and then created Wonder Man. Although there is a Wonder Man in the Marvel universe, saying Wonder Woman in DC, there's no male equivalent Wonder Man, right? Only goes one way. And it's a weird thing. Like, and they say, like, when girls and boys play with things, play with toys and characters, they say that women want, or young girls want to see themselves in characters, and boys want to be the character. So a young girl sees herself in Batman or whatever character. A young boy wants to be Batman. Distinction, right? So, I don't know. I think what you're going to do is you're going to lose more and more of the male audience, especially because Fantastic Four opens so close to Superman, which I think it has going to have a big appeal to kids. Everything we've seen, Krypto the dog is going to be a lovable hit, just like Groot and Rocket Raccoon. Just watch. Krypto will be, it's a Krypto summer, folks. Get used to it. But people are not gushing over Herbie. They're just not. Herbie the robot. You didn't even know. You thought I meant Love Bug.
No, I know who Herbie is. I watched the cartoon.
All right.
I have one issue where he's actually in the comic book.
All right, let's go to comments here.
Joker Jack Fatak. Remember, for 3 months, I want AI movies so I can make movies based off of the art and dialogue of old comic books. I want this for my own enjoyment, not to try and sell. Yeah. Gung Ho Mag, member for 13 months. Last time I checked, they weren't called the Fantastic Storm. Yeah, you notice we're not, it's Sue Storm. It's not Sue Richards. It's Sue Storm. Yeah. Interesting. Lord Comment for 5.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, I know.
She's not Sue Richards. Did they not get married yet?
When they got married, she became Sue Richards.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's right there in front of me, and I didn't see it.
I noticed that like a few weeks ago. It's like, wow, we're pushing the Sue Storm thing. Are they married, or is she a feminist and didn't take Reed's name?
Wow. Yeah. Continue, Alan.
Lord Comment for 5. Snow White was the worst thing to come out. Fantastic Four goes, hold my beer and watch this. I really don't care for this dumpster fire girl boss. Be sexy, Chris Gore.
Hell yeah. Thanks. Hey, Adrian. Love her.
Adrian Curry for 10. Thank you. Women complain about everything men do as bad, then turn around and want to do everything men do. 100% about power.
Thank you for confirming. Yeah, Adrian, we appreciate you. Adrian, very based. I have to say, miss seeing you at Comic-Cons. Miss you. We could use your energy. Thank you, Adrian.
Matouine, member for 24 months. Since 2016, it's been Adult Swim at the public pool, except it's not for adults, just women. Everyone else out of the pool, women swim.
It's one way to put it. Yeah, that explains it. Makes sense.
Thomas Pickett for 5. Margaret Thatcher. Socialism is great until you run out of other people's money.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell Karen Bass.
Yeah. Tell China. Matouine for 2. Or maybe it's minority skate only in Hollywood. Minority skate. Geek True 64 member for 25 months. Ooh, over 2 years. And my interest in Fantastic Four continues to decrease.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. Mine too.
That's why I say stop with the press tours. Bill S. President Esquire. Disney Marvel can't change course, but they don't think there is a problem.
They don't think this is a problem. Look, it's a problem. Just look at Ballerina flopping.
D. Goodhart, this isn't surprising about Sue Storm. Pedro Pascal doesn't really have that sort of alpha male projection. If it's way too pronounced, it will not go well for Marvel on this one.
Tom Siebert summing it up.
Yeah. FF flop.
Fantastic flop.
Fantastic flop.
There you go. All right, we have related stories to this. We have related stories.
Yeah.
Marvel took the hero out of superhero. Okay. This is why Marvel's so bad right now. This is from Abby Emmons, YouTube channel, getting some great commentary here. Let's listen to this. It's about it's a minute or so. This is why Marvel's so bad right now. And this is where she talks about Marvel took the hero out of superhero.
Recent years, Marvel has not made movies like this. Instead of giving us characters with human desires, fears, and misbeliefs, we've been bombarded by stories with heartless, soulless protagonists who care more about flexing their physical strength and looking badass than actually developing as a person. Protagonists who could almost pass for antagonists. To put it bluntly, Marvel has taken the hero out of superheroes. Their movies are no longer centered around moral integrity and underscoring themes like love, sacrifice, redemption, forgiveness, and compassion. Instead, the general takeaway seems to be higher, further, faster. Modern MCU protagonists are starting to look less and less like the heroic icons of the past and more like the attention-seeking narcissists of the future.
Not a great plan.
They may storm around in high-tech suits, destroying the bad guys and saving the day, but if the moral integrity and heart of the story is lost between visually stimulating CGI sequences and comedic timing, then what on earth is the point? Now, I'm not saying that Marvel Phase 1 movies are without fault, nor am I saying that Marvel is now incapable of creating character-driven and meaningful movies. In fact, films like Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings are a pleasant reminder that Marvel still has what it takes to make us care about a character's internal conflict
I told you it's a good
and
movie.
understand.
What'd you say?
I told you Shang-Chi is a good movie. She liked it.
Core themes of moral integrity. I think we can all agree that Marvel Phase 1 movies had a certain beauty and magic to them. They were the good old-fashioned superhero movies that audiences miss and want to see more of. Because believe it or not, higher, further, faster isn't always better. Sometimes less is more. Stories with flawed characters who face human struggles and ultimately change for the better will always be timeless. This is the soul that Marvel has lost over the years through cinematic one-upmanship to constantly outdo themselves with convoluted intersecting plots, sensory overload CGI, and morally bankrupt themes of narcissism disguised as self-empowerment. It is my sincere hope that Marvel will take a lesson from the stories that made them great and get back to basics. Back to heartfelt and meaningful themes like redemption, sacrifice, and belonging. If they spend more time focusing on building characters who are deeply flawed but striving to heal their hurts, mend what they've broken, and come out the other side a better person, I think it would change the whole way audiences feel about these films.
I mean, you know, she lays it out right there. She lays it out right there. This is what we've been saying. You know?
I mean, don't superheroes need mental health breaks once in a while?
What, Thunderbolts?
Yeah. Well,
No,
Thunderbolts
look,
and Captain America.
They have lost what it means to be a hero.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she lays it out with clips. Great job. Subscribe to her channel. Yeah, really good stating what we've been saying, which is they don't even know what makes a super. Sometimes the line is blurred between this is a superhero. Like, are they a hero? Especially with the Marvels. I don't get it. Captain Marvel leaves Earth, leaves her close friend behind, who ends up dying of cancer while she's off planet. Like, what? And then her daughter kind of has some. It's not how a hero would act, right? The whole character of Captain Marvel is ill-conceived as it is in the movies. So I don't know about the comics, never read them. So Alan, your thoughts, and we'll go to comments.
Yeah, I mean, she's right. I mean, we've been talking about it. I always say, the greatest movies are the ones you connect with personally. When the hero's journey, when that journey is a journey that you want to go on or need to go on, and then you see someone else do it, walk that journey and overcome it. That to me and to others is what makes that character inspiring. How do I put this? The interesting thing about superheroes is they're powerful, but they always have a fatal flaw. And weirdly enough, that villain knows what that fatal flaw is and exploits that.
Yes.
And that hero then has to overcome that flaw in order to win in the end. I mean, those are the simple ideas, simple formulas for stories that we connect with as human beings. We've been talking about this for the last few weeks, this idea of adversity, that you can't go through life not experiencing adversity. Otherwise you grow, you get atrophy in life, where you no longer become a stronger person, where you're just always sitting back on the sidelines. Where I think the story people want to hear today is how can I make this, not only this world a better place, but my life, my family's lives, a better life. And what are the things that are preventing us from making that happen? And that's why we go to movies, because we're seeing people who are going through the same struggles we do. Sure, they have superpowers, but they're still people and they still struggle with these things. And that's why we connect with them when we see them overcome those struggles. And to her point, yes, Marvel has lost that. I think, it's weirdly enough, I think the ones that connected were was Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and was probably Spider-Man. The other ones are just, heroes are people we aspire to be, but it seemed like those stories are what Marvel wants us to aspire to be. And there's a big difference there when we're being told and lectured what kind of people we need to be versus us discovering the kind of person we want to be.
Let's go to comments here.
Matthew Hammond for 2. Adrian Curry as Sue Storm.
I'd love that.
Yeah. John Smith for 999. Chris, Ballerina has been out for 4 or 5 days. Don't write it off just yet. It's an excellent film. I'm going to see it again this weekend. And then there's the home release.
I think the movie Ballerina it underperformed box office wise by a lot. By it was below the estimates. So it did underperform. Now, will it pay out in the end? More than likely, yes. But I think what the concern is, John Wick may not be a franchise you can do spin-offs from. Mm-hmm. It's got the bench is kind of thin.
Yeah, because every spinoff will always be less than
the
original John
right.
Wick. The real success for Ballerina will be how long will it stay in theaters. That's its. Yeah, it didn't get a big box office, but it could. I'll give you an example. Elemental was that way. Not a big box office, but it held out throughout the entire.
It had
summer.
Legs.
We'll see if profitable.
We'll see if Ballerina has legs. Thank you, John Smith, for that.
Skid Row Chris for 2. She lost me at Shang-Chi was a good movie. Shang-Chi was a good movie. Sorry. Lord thought my superhero comics from the 70s made me a soldier, made me become an officer of the law, made me sacrifice everything to help others. That is superheroism, sacrificing for your fellow.
Thank you, Lord Thoth, for your service and your comment. Agreed. I can remember comics I read, and it really did change me. And I'm concerned kids are getting wrong messages in these films, and the current comics are unreadable.
Yeah.
Current modern Marvel is unreadable.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Someone
Lord.
great once said, no greater love than this, than giving your life for your fellow man. And it wasn't Bagheera from Jungle Book. Tony, Youthful Eagle, Elias, Anthony Mankey took the America part out of Captain America. I'll say the writers did. I'm not sure you can blame.
Yeah, I don't think Aunt Mackie's to blame. He's
I think you can blame
actor
Kevin
playing a
Feige.
part.
I blame Kevin Feige.
Hey, one last treat today. Hollywood doesn't care about women. This is another great video.
We've just been talking about how much they care about women and
Nope.
put them in the forefront. What do you?
Let's go to it. This is
All
from
right.
friend of the channel Baggage Claim. Did a video essay, and we're gonna watch most of this. We'll talk about it on the other side. I think you'll see. You'll see, Alan.
Hollywood clearly does not understand women. The industry has been trying really hard to pander to us, co-opting franchises and releasing movies and TV shows, all with female heroes front and center, while the men quiver, grovel, and cower in the background. But it's not working. Each of these releases has been met by subpar box office numbers and fast dwindling viewership. And to make matters worse, once priceless IPs like Disney, Star Wars, and the MCU are now eliciting apathetic yawns from their audience at best and scorn at their worst. But even with these disastrous results, Hollywood has no plans to change their women equals good and men equals bad approach to story writing. In fact,
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Women equals good, men equal bad. Here's my problem. Women, if they are in fact fans of these female-led stories, are not being served very well. They're getting, I think, wrong-headed messages. We'll go back to it here, Alan. I'll pause for comment here and there.
fact, they are willing to go down with this rapidly sinking ship rather than accept the alternative. More female representation on screen really isn't a bad thing, but from the common character traits of the recent female heroes, one thing is very clear. The writers and creators don't like women. Feminine.
You hear what she said?
Yes.
The writers and creators don't like women.
Traits like empathy, patience, compassion, and gentleness are either never showcased nor valued, but almost every character is stoic, arrogant, impatient, and immensely powerful. Either
it's like,
I have an arm like a man.
I mean, look, she's talking about that they really don't even have attributes that you would apply to strong women. Let's go back here.
physically or supernaturally, or both. All traits that are typically considered masculine. The female heroes are rarely.
See? It's basically masculine traits in a female body.
Yeah. Well, I mean, male toxic masculinity is toxic because it's done by it's from a man. But if a woman does toxic masculinity, that's femininity. Am I getting this right?
Bingo. I'd say I agree, but let's keep
yeah.
If ever, wrong, and their hero's journey requires neither growth nor any improvement in order for them to be triumphant. Usually, if they are lacking anything, it's a slight lack of self-belief, no doubt sowed in them by a male-run society. So the female hero has no feminine traits and doesn't need to undergo the hero's journey. Her only struggle really is dealing with the machismo and utter incompetence of whatever unfortunate male who happens to be in her story. The men, on the other hand, are bumbling, fumbling idiots who are often figuratively or literally kicked in the balls. They are often.
Do I need to say anything there? The image of Shang-Chi getting kicked in the nuts. Alan.
Well, he's like a typical Asian. Never mind. I can't go there.
Back to it.
Often shown as emotional, sentimental, and caring. But again, these traits are played for laughs, rather than values meant to balance out the aggressive female heroes. So the morals of these stories are simple. Men are bad. And since society has been built by men, society also is bad. Women are perfect, except for all the traits that make them feminine. Those should be rejected and can be embodied by men, but women have to be like men, but men are not allowed to be like men. Also, remember how men are bad, but male traits in women is great. If you're
I mean,
What is
she
she
just
saying?
yeah, exactly. Male traits in women are great. Male traits in men are bad.
Yeah.
It's called hypocrisy. I would call that hypocrisy.
Yeah, not hypocrisy.
Yeah, not hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy.
Yeah. If a woman does it, it's good. If a man does it, it's bad.
Confused, don't worry. The writers and creators are confused too. The point is that audiences aren't interested in this trash. Every Disney project where they try to flip the script is embroiled in controversy, and once promising TV shows like Loki and Ahsoka are now sitting in a trash heap where only YouTubers go looking for material to review for their latest content. And yes, I'm aware that that's a self-burn. And yet, not so long ago, men and women everywhere were lining up brimming with excitement to watch the newest installment in movies with strong male heroes. Is it possible that women were not feigning interest, wondering when the hell they were going to get a female version of Iron Man, but instead actually enjoyed watching a good movie with a strong male hero? The idea that women want men to be weak, to step aside, to avert their gaze, and to bow down at the sight of them is just so wrong. So if there is...
Yeah, I mean, she is hitting the greatest hits of why we're here at this bad place. Throw baggage claim a sub. She's been on Versus before. She will be back.
Confusion, which there clearly is, let me be clear. Women don't want this. We don't want emasculated, broken men who are insecure and fearful at the sight of us, who are more than happy to sit on the sidelines while the women make all the decisions and take all the actions. We absolutely do not want this. Many women everywhere are all too familiar with what happens when they build partnerships with these types of men. When women are in relationships with men who take no initiative, who constantly need to be led, need to be told what to do, need to be dominated just to function day to day, there is nothing worse for a woman's happiness. We don't want servants to rule over. We want men.
They don't. Okay, so note, Alan.
Yep.
Women don't want Pedro Pascal. I'm being serious. I think this will hurt. I think his casting will hurt Fantastic Four. I think it's very obvious. So
interesting.
There's okay.
Are we like second?
What's it? Sorry.
Oh, I was saying. I think it's almost over. Yep.
Okay.
Men in all their strength and glory, self-assured and powerful, charming and cool, caring and giving and protective. That's what we want. That's
seeing this montage with like 007 and all these strong male characters. It's like, oh yeah, these aren't in movies anymore.
Yeah. And it's funny, when you watched these movies, you didn't fear these people.
Yeah, they're just good men.
You were rooting for them.
Not good men, not perfect men.
Yeah.
Good men.
why when movies had masculine heroes like that, it wasn't just the men who were excited to watch. The women loved it too because it reminded us of what we want in our men. And if Hollywood truly understood that or even cared about that, they would stop presenting every male as the most pathetic version of masculinity possible. But they won't stop because female empowerment is not really the goal. I mean, if it were, they would realize that weak men are actually making women unhappy. But pretending to care about female representation is just the top palatable decoy layer of their agenda cake. The writers and creators of these movies and TV shows are not pro-women, they're anti-men. So
big distinction. Big distinction. They are. It's so obvious to me.
Yeah.
And I think it's so ingrained. And this happened in TV with sitcom dads. Always the butt of the joke, not the leader of the family. That's where it really started and became ingrained. And we showed that clip in our video about Hanna-Barbera or Joe Barbera, and from Hanna-Barbera Animation, talked about all these rules being like put on him.
Yeah,
that's where it began.
I'm curious, how does she explain Timothy Chalamet then?
Well, that's I would. I would say that, though, having read the Dune books, he's accurate as described in the Dune books. He was 15, scrawny kid that grew into a man through, through the books.
Through adversity.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, they changed the timeline. I don't know.
Yeah.
He is Timothy Chalamet as Paul Atreides is book accurate in the beginning. So I would defend that one.
Okay.
So, all right, onward.
The real motivation is their vindictive desire to destroy men. And the really sad part is that it's working. But what else can we expect when men everywhere are constantly being told that they are toxic just for existing, constantly taunted that the world is made for them and by them, and if they struggle or suffer, that it's their own damn fault and need to figure it out alone. But
see, this is my point. This was my point. It was always equality. In the 60s, they wanted equality. We want equality. And now that they have it, they're flipping the book. And now they want the power. And that's exactly what she's highlighting here.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's so frustrating and obvious. This is why I think Superman is going to kick FF, the Fantastic Four's ass. I think it's going to.
Mm-hmm.
So let's finish this up.
Also told that all the traits that make them masculine have no place in our society unless they're being embodied by women, of course. And all the heroes that men everywhere looked up to have been torn down, stripped, and humiliated. When confronted with the terrible stats of male suffering, there are plenty of people everywhere rejoicing that men are finally getting their comeuppance. And for what? What sins exactly have these men committed that they deserve this? But it's these...
These are horrifying, these things that, and I've seen this, I've had things said about me that are horrifying based on when I tweeted, "Make Marvel male again." When I tweeted those 4 words, there were articles written that were meant to smear me. The comments, people battled in the comments about what an a-hole I am for saying that. I think I'm right.
We just want our stuff back.
I'm right.
Yeah.
It's things that, are horrifying that, I mean, I lost friendships over tweeting those 4 words, where I had one former friend, not really ever a true friend, say, "I was tired of defending you. I can't defend what you say." Oh, sorry, the truth hurts.
Yeah.
Well, just a sec, one more.
These types of vindictive people that have for some time now infiltrated Hollywood writer and executive boardrooms with their sole goal to bring men to their knees with a stiletto planted firmly on their necks. This isn't about empowerment. This is about domination.
What, no smile?
Yeah.
That
it was
was
never about equality. It was always
that
about
was a great video.
Yeah.
Subscribe to Baggage Claim. That was a great video there. Alan, your thoughts now that we've seen this?
Like I said, it was, I mean, I'll up what I've been saying. It was never about equality. It was about revenge.
Yep.
It's like, oh, you've had millennia of control and power. Now for the next millennia or 2 or 3 or 4, it's our turn now. And we'll show you how to do it right.
Well, I'll just say this. Do you want progress or revenge? I want progress. I like, progress is great. Progress, let's see progress. You want revenge? Then you have a black heart.
Yeah, whatever happened to peace? Whatever happened to unity? Whatever happened to all these things that we were told we wanted? Look, I'm not white. This has been, I've been doing this race thing since I was born. And I was always told, I just want a chance to get my foot in the door. That's all I want. I just want to prove to you that I can do the job. That's all I wanted. And now and so what did I do? I had to work harder. I had to do the job better than my white coworkers, which was fine. It made me better at my job. But now I see people who don't even want to take that kind of effort, want to be lazy. I deserve to be in the writer's room because I'm a woman, or because I'm a person of color, or because I'm gay. No, you should be in the writer's room because you can write. And how do you write? You study, you work hard, you write. This is the problem with the world today, is people in these so-called oppressed groups want everything handed to them on a silver platter rather than earn it for themselves. And that's what bothers me, because if that was true, I worked too damn hard my whole life to get to where I am. I should have just sat back and let someone give it to me rather than try to be the person I am today.
Let's go to your comments.
Yeah, and I did say I was gay. All right. Lord comment for 5. I told you when I started talking 10 years ago with you about the end. Here's a great title for a movie, Penis Dick. Yeah, the stuff, ideas like that don't just come into your head. You have to think about that. And Penis Dick. Yeah, I mean, look, just don't put a penis on a dick or a dick on a penis. Think about it. Ask yourself, what would that look like? How would something like that exist in this world today? No. See, my mistake was I just handed it to you. I just handed you this great idea of penis dick. And now someone's just going to go and make some AI version of it rather than say, rather than tell a true, authentic story called Penis Dick. Pisses me off.
Back to this comment.
Yeah, there we go. More comment for 5. I told you when we started talking 10 years ago with you to the end, Chris Gore, and here it is 10 years later, and I'm still here.
Well, yeah, you're right. We've seen it. We've seen the box office struggle because of this. The movies are being rejected. People won't go. And that's why even a good movie, like I would say that Ballerina is a very good female-led action movie. And because of people are so tired of this trope, even when a good film in that genre comes along, people reject it. They're just, I don't want to see something like that. They prejudge what it's going to be. And I don't blame them for prejudging, because based on everything we've seen, of course it's going to be like that. It's all like that now.
Yeah, when I say that the theaters are dying, it's not because theaters are too expensive, and it's not because everyone wants to be on their cell phones or watch at home. It's because there's nothing to watch. Look, we're going to have a discussion soon about what we're going to talk about and review this Friday, and it's slim pickings. This is the problem with where it's at. The other thing is, I can't get my daughter to go see movies with me anymore. I have to literally force her to see Elio this Monday. She will not see a movie at the movie theater unless it was made before the year 2000. That's how far we've come. Wow. The Napsky 5. I hope AI shakes down Hollywood so it forces them to do a full reset and go back to good writing, low budgets, and no woke stuff and agendas. Yeah, I'm on the side of AI now. I'm so upset. Mr. D-Man 21, Cary Grant was the OG. Yes, there was no manlier man than Cary Grant.
Hell yeah.
Tom Siebert, all the women act like toxic men. It's wild.
Yep.
Absolutely. Volume dealer, all on purpose to disrupt the fabric of society.
Yeah.
Gung Ho Mag, watching the Marvels is worse than getting kicked in the nuts.
Only ever saw that movie once.
Patrick Lemire, this is an overreaction to the Billy Bush leak of Trump, grab her by the potty. It's all started there. Me Too followed, and then the MCU. I think Feige has an issue hanging over him.
It's possible. I do think when people overly are, defend this stuff, I think they're hiding something. I know in a couple of cases of people that I know that 100% they're hiding past behavior. And this is why there's an overcompensation.
Yeah.
So there you go. Well, we've got more. We're going to save it for Friday. So we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks to our toxic male mod, Lord Thoth. We appreciate you. Thanks to Atomic Lori.
Our toxic male producer.
Our toxic male female.
For these.
She's great at her job. Thank you to Glanuccio. Thank you, Alan. What do we do? Like, we're seeing a bunch of movies. Friday, we will be back. We'll have a review of How to Train Your Dragon, a new Western starring Pierce Brosnan and Sam Jackson. That looks really good.
Yeah.
And Materialists with Dakota Johnson and Pedro Pascal. There's a weird trend with, like, whenever a white person, like, they'll see and they kind of over enunciate the Latino aspect, any names that are Latino.
Yeah,
and
there's a great sketch on Saturday Night Live with Jimmy Smits and Bob Costas, where they do that. They
overcompensate the Spanish.
Like it's not Bob Costas, it's Bob Costas.
Costas.
And it's not the Broncos, it's the Broncos.
The Pedro Pascal, like it's Pedro Pascal. I mean, whatever. I don't know. People gotta loosen up, man. But want to thank you all. We'll be back Friday with reviews and news. Alan, what's going on? Is there something going on?
What do you mean?
I saw a look on your face.
No, penis dick. Look, we got to make this movie. I'm so motivated by it. I mean, a penis on a dick. I mean,
no, you gotta you gotta get more. I like when you cover music. Hum the theme to Sherlock Holmes right now.
Sherlock Holmes, do 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 Sherlock Holmes, do.
That's exactly the theme.
I know. I love it. John
All
Williams
right. Thank you, everyone who sent in a super chat or just chatted. And we appreciate your support for the channel. Check out the members only videos. I got some fun stories. I was at Exoticon this weekend where David Arquette, who has bought the license to the Bozo brand, performed as Bozo.
Wow.
It's crazy. Then the residents were there. I was also did a tour of Castle Green, and I'm posting from last night videos from I was at the Astra Awards, which was in a hotel ballroom. It was very fun. And you'll see Olivia Munn's acceptance speech. It was very touching. I
By the way, back to Exoticon, rest in peace, Brian Willison.
Yeah, rest in peace. So there you go. We'll be back on Friday with lots of reviews and more news. And there we go. Alan?
Let's get out of here.